morning, and thank you very much for joining us. I am Yori Fulani. We're staying in Lagos State today. In fact, we're looking at the roads in Lagos State. Lagos State, tiny as it is, population that it has, there's going to be stress on the roads. And Lagos is doing all it can. Imagine they're going to be, in the fullness of time, maybe all sorts of tiered bridges, one going this way, one going that way. Looks like the only place Lagos can expand is up. But let's look at the roads that they have been working on. You might have heard in the news, seeing the governor, and his team talking about bringing new roads. First of all, if you recall, they had this sort of agreement with, with their constituents, with the Lagos State government and its people that, one of the things we're going to be doing is we're going to be liaising with the communities. We're going to be having a cooperation with the communities. And to that extent, we sort of want to have 2 roads every year in each LCDA, well, in certain LCDAs, I think. So the idea is you tell us which roads you think, need attention. It's an interesting scheme, and the governor has been speaking about wanting the people who have benefited in this way to own those roads. We'll sort of get to the details of what this is all about, how it is going, this particular model in Lagos State. And for that, we got Mr. Kehinde Bamigbetan. Mr. Bamigbetan, well, he's the special advisor to the governor, senior special advisor to the governor on, well, is it roads?
Communities and communications.
Communities and communication. So that fits in. So the communities part, because the community seems to be center and forward on all of this, right?
That's correct.
Now, let's get some figures out of the way. We're talking in the region of, in the first year, you spent about almost 20 billion, 19 point something billion now. Yes. And you've come up with 56, if I'm right, just under 60 kilometers of roads. Well, with 20 billion and 60 kilometers of roads, it must be expensive. Were there different challenges? All roads are here. It's not, you can't just say because I've spent 10 billion on this, that road also will be 10 billion. Conditions could differ. Is that the experience you've also had?
That has been the experience, because we found out that in some areas, because generally Lagos State has a very high water level, and so being a very coastal environment, in many areas, many of these areas that benefited from this scheme happen to be very marshy area. So areas where for days, for months, most of these roads are always flooded, year in, year out. Drainage is totally non-existent in some of these areas. So the first even thing starts with having to even create drainages for water to even pass.
Okay.
The other issue, of course, is that many parts of Lagos are filled up, reclaimed from the sea, by refuse. So when the contractor gets to site, the first he has to do is to excavate depths and depths of refuse to be able to establish a strong concrete foundation for what he wants to do. That has been a major challenge.
And I imagine, I'm just guessing now, in the past, it might well be that because of some of these challenges that you sort of outline, people, sometimes you don't want to start with the difficult, you want to start with the easy and build up steam. It is just theoretically possible that the more challenging roads might have been neglected, waiting for better times and that kind of a thing. But with this kind of a lucky dip kind of an arrangement that the government has had, say, look, you guys tell us what 2 roads you think you want us to fix. And you stayed true to that. You didn't try and adjust it.
No. What we did was to make sure that we know that the clamor for roads in Lagos is very important. People want to be part of the civilization, and there's always been the issue about the concentration on the center. And we're now saying that, look, both the center and periphery, they are part of this Lagos. And developments must be simultaneous, must be equitable across board.
Okay.
And in that process, we said, look, let us go to the communities, who are really feeling the pinch, and ask them to speak out, not wait somewhere in Alausa and take decisions for people. And it has been very, very revealing. Because the people now went to the places where the shoe pinched them most and brought out those rules. As if challenging government, I want to dare you whether you can try this.
Okay.
And what has happened is with the boldness and the courage and the need to stand by what has been said, government went into it. So you find areas where in a place like Ikorodu area, for example, don't even have the revenue to do that kind of roads. So we find that without this kind of scheme, many roads in Alimosho, in Ikorodu, might never have been touched.
But because the people, the communities themselves chose them,
yes,
then it's sort of, well, it's not exactly that they forced government's hands, because government had given them the opportunity.
Yes,
but it did say to government, okay, fine, well, we asked and you told us, so yes, we're going to go there. 114 roads. And that's what it is in total. Yes. That's made up of what, 2 roads per local government?
2 roads per local government, 2 roads per LCDA. So we have 37 LCDAs and 20 LGAs having two roads each.
And you said at the time, that is to say the administration said at the time that this will be a program that will go on for every year of this administration.
For every year, we are going to have this, each of these local governments and LCDs having at least 2 roads. And the new development is that, again, the response has been so massive that the government is even saying that we'll strive for roads as we go. And that also shows you that there's already a quantum leap in terms of government's commitment to this thing. But I think what drives this thing is the communities themselves, the way they're taking control of the process. Because right from the first day, before the project started, we had a workshop for them, and we told them, the contractors are coming, you must take ownership of this process.
Okay, we're going to come to that matter of ownership, because that's another interesting concept. Now, when we talk about roads, I wanted to know, are we talking about rehabilitating roads or building roads from scratch in all cases? Where there's some that merely needed touching up, did anybody ask for roads to be touched up? Or had it been specified from the beginning that we're not talking about touching up, we're talking about building new roads where there is no tar at all?
When it comes to touching up, that's handled by Lagos State Public Works Corporation.
Okay.
So they do the fixing. This has to be the main road that you think has a role to play, particularly is a traffic role to play, a road that easily links with maybe the major roads that are in your environment, a road that can help to decongest traffic. So these are the reasons that were looked at when the roads are not being pre-qualified for this model. Can they help to reduce gridlocks? Do they link up with existing macadamized roads? And then how functional are they in terms of the economy of the environment?
Okay, so there will be a review. When people had made their suggestions, the way you went about this was you would review what the suggestions were, right?
3,420 CDAs in Lagos. That means that twice that figure will be asked for roads. So it has to come to a point whereby you scale down and see which ones can fit into the scheme, as it were. Otherwise, we'll not be able to do anything. So it has been managed in such a way to make sure that there are certain conditions that will enable a road to benefit from the scheme.
Well, happily, Lagos seems to be in a financially happy place in order to be able to do all of this. I suppose you guys are thankful. It's not all states that can come up with a scheme like this and execute it. By the way, I see that when I was looking at the papers, you actually started off with 30% and then subsequently another 30% mobilization.
Yes.
And then as of August, 40% for those that had completed 100% of the job. So in that way, it seems that everybody is happy. The community is happy, the workers are happy. But tell me about the effect this must have had on the sort of labor situation in Lagos State.
Our analysis is that for the 89 contractors that worked on 114 roads, the employment, direct employment, started over 5,000. And indirect employment, of course, you have the direct construction workers and professionals, and then you have those who live on them, the person selling beans and yam, the person selling nails, all those are the indirect employment, they will count like over 50,000, So when you look at the time the whole country is going through a recession, you find the government that is pushing 19 billion into its economy. You can imagine the reflationary role it's playing. It's the major stimulus package. And I think basically that has also helped across board. The average condition and perception of how Lagos is moving in terms of the economy. But for me, as I say, the idea basically is to see how the economy how construction industry can be mobilized to support the economy.
Well, first of all, I just wanted to sort of note that you commenced this whole idea somewhere in November 2015. This follows coming on board in May.
Yes.
Let's say the end of May, beginning of January. So within 5 months, you had actually, as it were, initiated this whole idea. And now it's ready to be delivered. 114 roads to be delivered. What the governor is going to go about launching those roads? Or how does that work?
What we have is to demonstrate the teamwork that Lagos State has. The governor did the flag off, which took place on Jimon Street, Ikorodu, last Saturday. Okay. And then House of Assembly members, members of the cabinet, individuals and respected personalities in the communities, members of the Christian Association of Nigeria, Muslim League, CGAs, they were choosing to go and represent the governor. So every day for 1 week, 20 roads have been commissioned, across Lagos. As we speak right now, in 20 places, the roads have been commissioned. And that is basically the experience that we have had. And I keep saying the point that even the contractors, there's an element of confidence in the economy because all are indigenous contractors. And for them to have performed creditably well, it shows that we already have our own indigenous system, indigenous construction industry that can respond to this kind of challenge. And for us, that's a major developmental leap for us.
There are roads and there are roads.
Yeah.
So what kind of roads are we talking about? Complete complement of road furniture? You got drains, street lights. Yeah. Now tell me about the drains, because I noticed in the papers that whereas you said the kilometers come to something like 15, less than 60 kilometers. With drains,
it's double.
Exactly.
It's double.
So that's the way that works. And then street furniture such as street lights. And then the beautiful thing now is that the community development associations are the ones who will be in charge of the street lights. And because we feel that at the end of the day, the street lights belong to them. So you don't need to create another higher level body to do it. They live there, they enjoy the light. So generators will provide solar power lights?
No, they are generated. They're powered by generators.
Okay.
20 kVA generator has been provided on each road, and the local government has been asked to provide stipends for the CGA to be able to fuel the generators.
Okay.
That's the system. Lagos, center of excellence and all of that is always looking to be cutting edge. There was a time when this whole solar light thing was quite the fad. We're powering our lights in Lagos by the sun. That idea is still in place, but why couldn't you do it there? Is it more expensive? Because generators, being what they are, is an extra cost. And I think the designers looked at the weather conditions of Lagos. Okay. While in northern states it might be easier to run the solar system, in Lagos it's quite a high humid environment. Okay. The rains are always coming, particularly in the last few years, been almost unpredictable. So we will assume that the capacity of the sun, the strength of the heat,
especially in certain seasons,
may not be able to sustain the project, and we don't want to have a point where we have to come back again to the generators. So even if that will happen, maybe it could be supplementary. But the key thing is that you have a generator. As far as you can have diesel to power them, you know that you can have lights in your neighborhood.
Now, it's good news that we have 114 odd streets additional to what we've had in Lagos. But maintenance is everything. First of all, the quality of the construction is going to tell on the maintenance subsequently. I'm taking it for granted because, look, when government goes into construction of things, and I'm not talking roads necessarily now, sometimes corners are cut and things are done in a public service sort of a way, as opposed to when a private enterprise, for example, does something and it knows nothing but the best is expected of it. That really is my fear, my concern that I'd like you to assuage if you can. That are these quality roads, not just there for the numbers so that we can say we have done so many roads?
Well, the dichotomy between government and people has been resolved here by bringing the community development associations in. And I'll tell you the governance system.
Sure.
From the one we said, look, the contractor must come to you, you must know what they want to do, you must be part of it, you must monitor this. Because at the end of the day, you are the ones who will be stuck with this project. So we empowered, encouraged, gave them the courage to challenge and to be part of the process. And
all the while, the government itself keeping an eye on the whole process.
Yes, we had another set of 3 different units, the Ministry of Local Government Monitoring Team, the Ministry of Budget and Planning, and private consultants monitoring. So, and that's why you could have those assessments. Who has completed up to 50% to qualify for the second tranche? Who has completed all because there are various peer review going on to ensure that the BOQ, the base of quantity, will apply across the board. So we believe now that we have resolved the contradiction between government and people. Okay. Because from day one, we put people at the center of the monitoring of these projects, and we expect therefore that is what they wanted is what they have gotten. We do not expect anyone to complain that we're not part of it. Government just came and did a road in our neighborhood. We didn't even know. That would not happen here because every stage they were had. Our meeting every month with the CDAs to ask questions. Have these projects going on? Have there problems? And there are problems in some cases. I'll give you an example. In Kujamu, for example, when the contractor arrived at the site, he found out that he needed to demolish many fences, even into many homes. And so the people resisted that, look, we won't allow this to happen. So we had to intervene. And we agreed that because the rooms that were going to be demolished actually belong to widows, and that was their main source of income. So we had to agree that, okay, if you're going to do 9.5 width, reduce, for example, to 8.5, so that can save the rooms and the means of livelihood of these women, and at the same time have a fence for them. So in some other cases, people on their own took up their fences because they knew that for so long they've been waiting for a kind of government that will provide this kind of service. So it worked like that. There was bargaining going on all the time.
Negotiations were going. It was interactive.
All the time.
The communities themselves, you were supervising. The government was keeping an eye on it. But essentially, it seems to me what you're saying is that the communities themselves, as it were, nominated the roads that they want to, built, and then maybe even the ownership of it started from there, because you seem to be pointing out that the community came together to decide that it is this road AB that we think needs fixing, and then also this CD. Those ones need fixing. Now, how different would it have been? You're a man that's been in Lagos State governments, for a long time, and so you know about it. You know about even local government. You were a local government chairman yourself, so you know how it works. How did the people come into it? Because you mentioned among things you said that nobody can feel left out of this. Yes. How did the people get involved? Were these party faithful who came together, who have the organization to come together and make these decisions, or everybody? Because we're not in an electioneering season anymore.
We have the law that allows people on 5 streets to come together and form a community development association.
Okay.
That is the CDA that therefore is the unit of engagement, and anybody could be there. You could be a lawyer, you could be in any party.
It doesn't matter what party.
Non-partisan environment. Okay. You are only interested in development of that neighborhood. So we engage them, and they are the ones we are working with. Every month we hold meetings with them and we ask them what's happening in your neighborhood. So where there are alarms, when people raise alarms that, look, these are not going on wrong right here. Okay. The contractor is not doing this well. We go there and find out what is the problem of the contractor. And I can tell you, we had like 90% compliance, and of course there will be some people who either were too slow or who thought it was business as usual. Who thought they could take this money and run away with it. And
some people actually, even in this change era, there are some people who had those tendencies, if you would allow it.
That this was a different environment, because they found out that in the past, when people made such complaints, they are just brushed aside. Now, they found out that when they make a call, we are already there with the people, siding with the people against the contractor, asking, how come you didn't do this? How come, what happened here? This is what people are saying, and we want you to do exactly what they are saying, because where you live, they will be the one to run this project.
What I find interesting about this is that the sort of engagement of the communities, as opposed to It's something government is doing. This is now beginning to make it sound a lot more like this is a project that we are doing. The we comes into it, right?
That's right. That's actually the objective. The objective is to transfer that process to the people. The objective also is for people in government to now see that as far as this administration is concerned, you begin everything with the people at the end. You know? They must be the ones who are part of it, who drive the process.
How might this have been in the past that you are saying that what this administration wanted to sort of put forward is what we have now? In the past, what was it? Was it that you know, technocrats, experts would come together and look for where they felt the greatest need was, or I don't know. There must have been a model before. I'm really leaning on the fact that you've been around for a long time in Lagos State government.
The local governments were considered the lowest level before. Everything stopped essentially at the local government level. You spoke with the people, the officials there, and you assumed that you had everything. But a critique of the system, of the current model came, and the critique showed that, look, you need to go lower level to the communities, because the local government is also a tie. It's an artificial tie of government. You know, it's the people that are actually human, living flesh beings who power the system. So why don't you go to them who actually are the ones paying the taxes? They're the ones who are going to vote. They're the ones whose lives you are affecting anyway. So why don't you be the ones who decide which projects to run, and even monitor the project, and even let you know whether the projects are running well or not. So you don't just allow some people from the secretariat to just come, visit the place, see what the communities will not see.
Whereupon someone in the community or local government area, if he's the chairman, if he's the secretary or whatever, there has been a tendency in the past for us to take things to where my area is.
Yes.
But with this kind of a scheme, it seems that it will be a lot more
balanced
in the sense that more objective, more democratic process. People will submit their bids and we'll look at it. By the way, what's the largest local government in Lagos?
Well, Alimosho, to be in Alimosho.
Yeah, that would have to be Alimosho. Yes, you got an idea of the smallest?
The smallest, possibly will be Lagos Island.
Possibly. Yeah. Lagos Island, those ones don't need any help. It's the
you'll be shocked.
I know.
You'll be shocked that when you get to some streets even on Lagos Island, I mean, the condition there is, it will be very embarrassing.
But at least you're listening to the people all over. Now, in somewhere like Alimosho that you spoke of, what two roads? I imagine you're going to have that at the at your fingertips, if nothing else. What two roads do they want?
And actually, in Alimosho, since we are using the current system of 57 local government LCDA. Alimosho has been broken to like 6 LCDAs, and each of the LCDAs are getting roads. One of it, I think, is Ogu Jimmy Road,
Okay. Therefore, the whole Alimosho area would have got
12 new roads.
12 new roads. That is roads that were untarred. Dirt roads have become standard roads
right now.
12.
Yes.
And that's the first year. Did you say you want to sort of increase this tally to see if you can do 4?
Yeah, we're doubling it right now to 228 roads in the next phase. And I think, the way we are going is like higher speed, to try and see how, because you see, the periphery in particular has been left behind for so long. A place like Ejigbo, for example, has been crying for this kind of stimulus package for a long time. So there's a huge demand for roads, very huge demand, and because they know that the roads also have a role. They are commercial center. Once the road is tarred, it becomes the commercial center. The first thing is that the rents go up, the landlords open new shops, and then before you know it becomes a business street for them, that environment. So the potential also is enormous in terms of the economy of the area. So for it's not just about traffic too. It's also about the commerce. Everybody now gravitates to that place. Banks now choose that place as the point to set up. So it's also not just about road. It's about also stimulating the economy of these communities. So in 114 communities, you are going to have an increase in terms of economic activity.
That's right.
That's
right.
More people will be able to earn income. Development will begin to increase in that area, and at the end of it, all of us will be better for it. And I think basically that's one of the issues here in terms of economic development of Lagos State.
114 roads this time around. looking at maybe 228 next time.
Yes.
You know, when you come at that rate, by the time the first term of this administration is over, what's the projection? That's how many roads, new roads, that would have been in there.
Maybe like 114 times like 6, the way we're going.
Like yes, something like
And
that.
if you imagine what that would do to Lagos, you know, it would be a new Lagos, really.
If you can actually deliver that, you know, and okay, the ownership of the road. What we'll do is we'll go on a short break now. We'll also take calls because we want to find. Okay, they're telling me to chill a bit and continue. Don't just be going on break right now. Okay, are there people far-flung places, you know, like Badagry, like Ikorodu, like Epe? Nobody was left out. Everybody's getting.
Nobody was left out. Everybody was involved in this. All local governments, all LCGs had two roads each, and it's been quite a fantastic experience, honestly. The King of Kweme, for example, was almost in tears of joy when it was opened just 2 days ago. That he never thought in his reign that would come.
That's
to
the king
pass.
of the Oba of
Kweme,
Okay.
Kweme, you know, the village outside Badagry.
Okay.
So, and in many places that we went to, people, I mean, will say, look, I didn't know what I was doing when I actually, you know, voted this man in.
These are standard roads, right?
The standard road, they are average on of 9 meters width, you know, ranging from like 750 to 500, depending on the length of the road. But 750, sometimes 900, you know, meters in length, you know, and they are supposed to have drainages and walkways, and then they have street lights.
Okay.
You know,
Well, I hope you did something in Ilasa Maja too, because Dayo is calling in from Ilasa now. Let's hear it from him. Good morning, Mr. Dayo.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Good morning. Quickly, please. We got to go on break.
Okay, sir. In Lhasa, we did any work for Lhasa. We did any work for Lhasa.
Cowbell Road. What's going on?
Hello?
Cowbell Road.
Hello. Did you say you haven't seen any sign in Ilasa?
Work at Lhasa. There's no work at Lhasa. There's only no road, does it?
Well, how about Cowbell Road? I'm hearing. Cowbell Road is what the senior special advisor is saying.
Only Cowbell Road.
Do you know Cowbell Road?
It's only Cowbell Road, yeah.
You know it.
Yeah, I know it.
Is what going on there?
It's only Cowbell Road and a bit.
Oh, what you're saying, it's only Cowbell Road.
No,
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Well, he says, you know, you say two. I can tell you about only one going on in my area. Cowbell Road. Is there another one going on?
Lafayette Panoda
I see.
also is there, you know. Lafayette Panoda is completed. Cowbell, because it is dualized, you know, and it does not originally fit into the 9 meters width system.
Okay.
Had to go into variation. That's why it's a little bit delayed.
Okay.
You know? It had to go into variation to make sure that we don't distort the size, the dual carriageway that's already there.
Okay, let me go on that break now, and I'll come back, and if you have any more to say on the Cowbell Road and the other one too, we'll talk about that. Stay with us, please. We'll be right back, and we'll take your calls. Okay, welcome back. We're looking at what the Lagos model and bringing new roads to the people. 114 new roads spread across, all the local governments, 2 in each, and they're looking to jack it up to 4 next, in the next season. And probably there's a sense, Governor Ambode, he was an accountant for ages, almost 30 years to local government. So there's probably a sense in which this also factored into this whole new thinking, new idea, because arguably the man has a very clear insight into finances and not just finances, also attitudes in local governments. He's been close to them for a while. And as I said, the good nexus here is that you yourself have been a chairman of a local government. So this is very, very familiar terrain, actually. Yeah. Okay, but to conclude on cowbell, that I had to sort of rush you on, you explained that, the gentleman who called in said only cowbell, but you said no, in that particular area, there's other...
Okay. That's the second road there, done by Andre Construction Company, and this cowbell has been done by Yidisma Construction Company. Okay. And I know, and that what we are talking about community involvement can be demonstrated by the what's happening on cowbell. When they were going to start that road, the community protested that if they went ahead, it would have been reduced from a 14 meters width road to a 9 meters width road.
Okay.
And because of that problem, they had to go back again and start bargaining.
Okay.
Okay.
So there was some sort of
local
delay.
government coming to add more money so that we could maintain the road and still do the work. The local government said, look, we didn't have money. So it was scaled up to the state government. And the state government said, okay, come up with a variation. We'll maintain the road as it is and we'll pay more for it. Okay. And that's how cowbell came to retain its dual carriageway status.
So there were instances where to keep the scheme running smoothly, the state would have come in rather than for it to be aborted. Alhaji Ibrahim calling in from Lagos Island. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Thank you for calling in. Go ahead with your question, observation.
Yes. I commend the Lagos State government for the roads they are doing. It's very nice. But what I want to say is that I live in Lagos Island, but I don't know the road I live in Lagos Island because Adeniji Adele, which is the seat of the Oba of Lagos, if you see the road, it's very, very bad.
The street is very, very bad?
Yes.
You think?
Very, very bad.
Okay.
It's very, very bad because it's only during the time that our Honorable Asiwaju want to do marriage for the children. So they start the little central police station area. The patches. But if you go to that place now, you see that the road is not, I don't know the road they are doing. If you go to Onala, near former Governor Fashola, families, people are living. If you go to that place, Princess Street, around the Jodua area, the roads here are very bad. I don't know the road they did in Lagos Island because...
okay, we'll sort that out now. First of all, Ms. Alhaji Ibrahim's allegation that the road to Igadugoran is very, very bad. I don't know what your comment is on that, but maybe the more important question is, I don't know which roads they're doing in Lagos Island.
In the past, it would have been easier to just go to the Oba and just pick his road and use it to represent the community. But because of the new model, we have to start with the communities.
Okay.
If you are in Lagos Highland, then you will know of Agarawu Street, and you will know too of Sanusi Olusi Street. Incidentally, Kabiyesi himself, was at the commissioning of Sanusi Olusi Street just 2 days ago, and he commended it that for over 30 years, he has been championing the construction of Sanusi Olusi Street, and was happy that at the end of the day, government came to do it.
Okay.
In Lagos Island East, you have Evans Street and Thomas Street. They also are parts of this. So Lagos is quite a wide environment.
World famous Evans Street.
Yes,
that is also, as it were, landlord to Evans Square.
It's part of this scheme. So if you in that area, you will see that work, has proceeded in those areas.
Okay, let's thank you very much for that, Kennedy. Let's swing to where do we swing to now? Ikorodu. Let's look at the Ikorodu axis. Okay. Good morning, Shegun.
How are you, my brother? This is Shegun. Anyway, I want to commend the governor of Lagos State for a job well done and for what he has been doing. Quite commendable regarding the roads construction. But what I just want to chip in one thing so that the SA himself will listen to it very well. The existing local government roads, some of them are terribly bad. Potholes everywhere. Potholes everywhere. Potholes everywhere. I want the government and, the SA channel this to the excellency that most of the existing roads, who are local government roads, the potholes should be zero tolerance. We should just have zero tolerance to all potholes.
Sorry, Segun, forgive me for interrupting you, but you heard the model of this particular project where the community comes together and decides that, look at the two that you're supposed to do for us.
Good. I'm just chipping this as an advice. I'm a stakeholder too. I'm just chipping this as an advice.
Okay.
That most of these existing roads, all the local government should be zero tolerance to potholes. That one will, make the job of the excellency to be in a commendable way.
All right, Segun. Thank you very much for calling in. Now, I think you were making a distinction earlier when we were talking that, look, the existing roads and the maintenance of them is different from this particular project.
Yes.
But Segun's warning is, observation is germane.
I agree with him. The point is that the maintenance work is done more during the dry season. Now, if you go and put boulders or you go and put laterite on roads now, the rains will wash them away. So most people will tend to wait for economy of funds, for cost effectiveness till the rains stop. So you can also make sure that what you do will last a longer time.
Okay.
In fact, even in this
but
project,
he's talking about potholes and
that's what we're saying.
Yeah, but the rains.
I've been local government chairman before,
Sure.
and we've done these things several, and we found that we are just wasting money because when it is raining, particularly Lagos rains, something different. When you put boulders, you put gravel on this thing, the force rains push them, they take them out back into the drains, and then you are back to square one. It's like, why did I spend so much money? And people are already saying that, look, they are just there, they are just, so it is best to do it when it will last longer. And that's when the weather is conducive for it.
And I suppose...
So that, I think, is what may be holding them.
Okay.
But they are quite sure of their responsibilities. They know. They themselves pass these roads. They know, of course, that these roads needs to be fixed. And I'm quite sure that as soon as these rains come to an end, work will begin more on the maintenance of the roads.
Okay, another Segun, this time from Ajah. Good morning. Thank you for calling in.
Let me start by appreciating Governor Atom Mambode for his development study he has been able to do. Well, I'll urge him to extend his kind gesture to Ogombo, Shongotedo Road, Agri. There's a road linking Ogombo community to Shongotedo. Then there's another road linking Moko, Ukuaja, and Aja, Agri. Please, it's a coastal road. I would like my honorable to look into that as well. Thanks, sir.
Thank you very much, Segun, for calling in. I suppose you know about all these roads.
Yes.
You must have an inventory of all the roads of Lagos State. But there's Segun's comment there.
We'll take a note of that, and I will brief the Minister of Works and Infrastructure, and I'm quite sure that something will be done about that.
Okay, because it's important to sort of state that, look, you are here really because of the community aspect.
That's true.
There are pros who are in charge of roads and works and that kind of a thing.
That's
but
true.
the community, this something of a novelty of the community being as well, not so much heavy-handed as what is the proper expression? As involved in the roads that will be built.
That's true.
That hasn't happened in the past. By the way, what was the model in the past?
Well, the model in the past more or less had to depended more on the local government for this kind of information. Depended more on people at the central office at the secretariat, using their own panoramic intuition to to guess where they think this is going
I like
to.
that. Intuition, guess, and...
where they think, But I think now it's a different ballgame because you can tie it to some people who live in a particular neighborhood, who know exactly what is happening there, and who can demand for these things and monitor it to completion.
Okay.
So it's a whole different governance system, it's a whole different process, and it's generating, more positive results for development in Lagos.
Okay. Wale, what's the situation in Ilasa?
Yes, I want to greet the man of the studio. We appreciate the governor, but the work has not reached Ilasa. People are talking of Campbell Road. Campbell is Ilasa industrial area. I mean, it's all industrial area. But when they are talking of Ilasa Gorogon, the road that leads from Ilasa to Riakare is like that. The most important road is Bale Street. It's very rough. If you come to Ilasa, you see that even there is no drainage. If you no single road at Ilasa that is done.
But Mr. Wale, do you remember, Mr. Wale, do you recall that we're saying that this program is about the community determining which roads should be fixed? So the community there.
The community of Ilasa is about almost 2 million. Nobody said that you construct Kabai Road. That they did not finance for us. Go to the Valley of Ilasa and find out. They did not contact us. So the people that have Ilasa, go there. Ilasa, Valley. That you will see that we almost 2 million people were cut off.
All right.
The road to the estate,
okay.
to Riakare estate, it's not functioning. And if you see that Ilasa is not count, it's not recognized among the people, among the roads in Lagos.
Okay, Mr. Wale. Mr. Wale, thank you for calling. Inevitably, this kind of a thing will happen because we're talking about just 2 roads. I mean, it's not as if we're talking about 2,000 roads. But slipping through the cracks, and he feels that, again, he's making the point about the strategic importance of the road he is particular about. And it's a main road. I don't know, that road, it's about maintaining it, right? That's the problem. And you are talking about building brand new roads.
Yeah, Bale Street, I know Bale Street, but the point is, does he belong to a community development association? Because
he said nobody talks for us.
Yes, because he himself, does he belong to one? He's referring us to the Valley of Ilasa. We are saying that the model right now is the community, not really the monarch.
Because you pointed out that in the case of Elba-Eko, that he himself was happy that one other road, which wasn't the one leading into it.
So in the past, of course, the points of engagement had been the monarchs, and senior civil servants in environments and retired generals, But now it's a different ball game. We say people who don't have to be monarchs, who don't have to be retired generals, who live in these communities, who have their families there, they should come together and form a CDA, and they will be the one that government will relate to in terms of what's happening in that place.
That would be the point of contact.
That would be the point of contact.
Let me take Mr. Dizu calling in from Surulere. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Sir Yori.
Please go ahead.
Good morning, Mr. Bami, Mr. Kennedy.
Yes, sir.
I want to say I appreciate the effort of the present governor. He has a clear insight to the problems of Lagos, and I want to believe he's fully prepared. First of all, I would like to take you to Aguda. There's a road there. It's highly commercialized. It's very influential road. It's Eniton Road.
Eniton?
Eniton. And you can see the importance of that road in Aguda. I will want the Lagos government to look into that. Okay. And again, as a special advisor on community matters generally, I want you to look more into the economic aspect of our communities in Lagos. Not road alone. People are not going to eat road. I want Lagos, through your ministry, to look more of the economic impact of the 25 billion endowment fund. How it's going to really impact the people. You can see the Anambra State government coming out with a stimulus economic plan What is it that the Lagos State government is doing? Is the biggest economy after Nigeria in the Nigerian compass. We have to do something. People are suffering. Thank you very much.
Okay, Mr. Dizu, thank you for calling in.
Well, I thank you very much that you're current with our program on economic empowerment. The government has promised 25 billion in 4 years, 6.2 billion every year. The first 6.2 billion is ready in the kitty, it's available. What is going on right now is that the guidelines for you to access the loan must go to the House of Assembly. Right now, the House of Assembly is going through those guidelines, and as soon as it is approved, we will go to town with it. Nobody will be left behind. All hands will be on deck, because the target is to empower over 300,000 businesses, small businesses in the first year. And we're targeting, and this over 300,000 businesses will be looking at 300,000 on the average as loan. And the loans will be put out as a rate of 5%, which in this high interest regime is the best you can possibly get to reflect your business. So we are just at the nick of it now. Just keep your ears to the ground, be available, and you will see the massive rollout of the awareness campaign once the House of Assembly approves the guidelines. So we are on that. I also don't agree with you that the roads don't have commercial value. They do have commercial value. More often than not, when you have a new road, that's where the shops come up. That's where the restaurants come up. And very soon you find that it becomes the business street of that area. Okay. So that alone means that it is a stimulus for trade and investment. And over the years, historically, roads have always played those roles.
Okay. Thank you for holding on, Mr. Oni, calling in from Ikorodu. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Thank you for calling. Please go ahead.
Yes, sir. Please, not to be on to, I want to commend the Lagos State government. Firstly, towards the BRC stuff within the Ikorodu axis here. Yeah. Yes, I want to commend the state government first. Firstly, commend the state government for what they've done within Lagos, within the Ikorodu axis here.
Okay.
But make sure, because I've been within this food now, I've been here for over 10 years now. But my great shock is this. On Oreokode, there's a road from Ilepuoba. It's about 5-kilometer road, which has to be one of the longest roads within the Ikorodu here. And nothing has been done about the road. The road is called Eita Ojukoro Road. It's a link road.
Okay.
Right. For over 10 years, the road has been there, so bad from Ilepuoba down towards Eita Ojukoro Road, ends towards going to a creek. It's a link road.
Okay. Thank you for that, Mr. Oni. You know the road he's talking about.
We'll get this across to the Ministry of Works and Infrastructures, and I'm quite sure that road will be on their program by now. If it's described the way you've described it, then that road will be on their plan for now. By now, it could be funding issues, could be priority issues, but I can assure you they will be on top of that road. The person who is handling that portfolio right now has been in that system for over 30 years. So there's hardly any road in Lagos that he will not know like the back of his hand.
And Mr. Oni did say that he really was wanting to go through you as a channel to the government, for the government to be aware that these are his concerns. And it can't be him alone, because it's a community. Now, it was the guy who called in before Mr. Oni that was saying that, look, roads are fine, but there are other aspects to your portfolio in the community, and this is what after this you're going to go on to other ones, even though this is going to be in view throughout the administration. What are the other key points that you sort of become something of an interface for?
So many. For example, one of the things we've done, for example, is to also look into the media in the communities.
Okay, sorry, let me quickly get Liberty as the last caller. All right, good morning, Liberty.
Good morning, sir.
Thank you for calling in. Your question or comment?
Liberty calling from Ogba.
From Ogba. You're welcome.
Also, I would like to join to thank the Lagos government for what they're doing. They really done well in this. I must appreciate them. But please, I want to find out from the commissioner. This road in College Road.
College Road?
No, not College Road. Moyago Road.
What road?
Moyago Road is an alternative route to College Road.
Say that name again.
Moyago Street. It's a road
Okay.
It's an alternative route to College Road. When there's traffic on College Road, we normally pass that route to cut off the traffic and maybe bust out to Iju or maybe College Road side. But that road is very, very bad. I don't know if that road is part of the road they want to do. And also, there's another road in Okera side. Very short distance. They really work in Okera, but there's a very short distance road. Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
There's a very short distance road, they call it Fadonsi. From that Fadonsi end to Ondo Street, very short distance. That road has been bad for almost 10 years. I don't know what is really the problem.
Okay.
They really done well. They've done some roads in Okera, but that small short distance is really causing a lot of problems. I know it's also part of the road we want to do in that community. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much for calling in, Liberty. And well, that's it for today in terms of the phone calls. We'll sort of rest the phones for now. I hope that your colleagues in the works department are also watching, because no doubt what is coming out is a lot of things under their schedule of duties.
Well, actually, I'm quite sure they're used to this. People calling through various channels every day to make this kind of complaints. And I'm quite sure for many of these points being raised, we already have them in our program. The point is either they are issues of priority, or the age of funding, or the age of sequence.
Okay, but well, quickly now, because we have just a few more moments. I wanted you to flesh out what your portfolio as the community liaison person. You know.
I was saying that in recent time, for example, we worked on community media. We've seen, for example, that Lagos also, when you go to other countries, you find that the community media is very strong. You have community newspapers coming up,
okay,
you have community radio coming up, and because of the quantum of information that the system is generating every day, you really need to domesticate much of our own media industry. And so what we've been working on too is to revive the community media. For example, community newspapers, the Fakojaye Post, Oriwu Sun, Ekpe Times, what we've done
These are not funded by government, are they?
They're not funded, they're private. But government has done one thing. It is sponsored their training so that they could be able to now run it, and now it's investing in them in terms of providing them advertising patronage.
I see.
That has worked on many of them, because we believe that people should begin to wake up and say, look, in my own constituency, it's a post that's relevant there. So that's one way.
If one wanted to listen to community radio in Lagos.
That's like Ikorodu Oga Radio.
Okay.
Ikorodu Oga Radio is a community radio, is based in Ikorodu, for example.
How might one receive it?
It's on internet. It's an internet.
It's an internet-based. Okay, internet-based.
Yes, no. And one of the things there's Lasu FM station.
Sure. That's a
Last Protect
station.
FM station coming up, and we hope that we could have in each of our communities the community radio. That also will help.
That will help.
We also do community resolutions, conflict resolutions.
Okay.
And particularly over land, people are fighting. Community is fighting community. We bring them together. In the past, we had a strong issue because many people will go to courts, obtain a verdict, and go and sack almost 60,000 residents of a community, and we didn't know what to do about it. But now with the land grabbers law, it has now made it compulsory that you cannot use violence to even effect a court order.
And where it does come up, government will be able to come in through this law.
So that has also facilitated our efforts at solving issues among communities.
You know what, Mr. Gwemite, we've run out of time, and this was really fun because we're getting to. This is about governance at the closest level to the guy who actually prints his thumbprint on election day that puts everybody in power. And I want to thank you very much, Kehinde Bamigbeton. You must come back again because it's an exciting idea, especially how government is interfacing with the people through organs like this, and where the people are actually having a say and responding and taking charge of some things themselves and owning those things. Thank you very much for coming on.
My pleasure.
I hope you come again if we invite you, which we surely will.
Thank you very much.
I'll see you tomorrow, God willing, with a fresh edition of the program. I'm Yori Folare. Bye-bye for now.